Hey VC, what's up? It's me, yours truly. I am back to post a quick video here. This is just kind of a recent finds video. Some new recent stuff that have popped up. Um, all over the place in terms of genres and stuff like that. I really kind of noticed that when I was putting it together to make the video, which is always good. You know, some new music I've discovered that, people have kind of mentioned that really kind of caught on, and just some pieces I've been meaning to insert and all that good stuff. Um, but before I get into the recent finds, I do want to do a really quick kind of Mr. Hall of Fame public VC announcement. Actually, in regards to my boy Billy Crayone, and I'm sure a lot of you guys in the VC know him. As Billy's been around for quite some time. I refer to him, him and Adam. I want to make sure I give equal respect there as the Mr. 80s of the VC. As you guys know, I'm a huge lover of the 80s. But Billy's been in music and making albums and CDs and stuff, especially the 80s pop dance type of stuff, for I don't even know how many years now. And one of the things that he's really kind of excited about is that he's going to be putting out his first full-length album on vinyl for the first time. And he's kind of really pumped up and excited about that. And so I wanted to make this video because I know the way that he's doing it is he's kind of doing, where he gets a certain number of pre-orders, then everything's pressed and blah, blah, blah. And I think he's already over halfway to his goal. So I just wanted to kind of, put some support out there for anyone that might know my channel but maybe doesn't know his. And actually, I'm not going to say the website where I'm just going to put a link down below where you can go to the little short video that he did, telling you about the new album and kind of where you can go to order it and all that good stuff. And that way I won't screw up here because I don't remember it exactly off the top of my head. But yeah, so just when you get done watching this video, go to the link down below, and yeah, just go check out Billy's stuff. I mean, again, if you're an 80s fan, you definitely need to be going over, going over to his channel and again, just to be able to have one more VC member officially put themselves into the vinyl world, I think is also a very cool thing too. So here's to you, Billy C, man. I hope that whole project goes just the way you planned, even better. So let me kind of just jump into the recent finds here. So we'll start off here with Chris Stapleton. Yeah, Billy Hurst. And I mentioned Billy because he was the one, or I guess he and his wife actually were the ones that introduced me to Chris Stapleton. I mean, we had like a listening party a little while ago over at Billy's house where, just a few of us got together and again, just kind of, which was freaking awesome, I have to say, by the way. I mean, just to sit down and sit around a table and just spinning records and playing random stuff and just being around, people that actually understand you is just like amazing, And so, yeah, we had a great time, and one of the albums that Billy and his wife, I should say, actually kind of introduced me to was this Chris Stapleton. Now, I had seen this album before in stores along with a couple of his other ones. There's one with the maroon cover and then like the grayish one where he's standing in, I can't remember the exact theme, but I'm sure you guys know. But I just never paid attention and whatever, and they were just like, oh, dude, I cannot believe you haven't checked it. And we kind of sat there and listened to it, and it really was awesome stuff. So I definitely have to thank Billy and his wife for introducing me to this particular album. And it really is good stuff, and the more I listen to it, I listened to it that night, and then I've listened to it, of course, since I got it. I ordered like the very next morning. And what it really boils down to is, to me, it is R&B music just sang with a country twang is really what it is. And I think that's why it's so soulful, quite frankly. And there was a lot of elements as I was going through this where I'm not going to say it sounded like, but I really got these hints of like Bobby Womack is kind of what was coming through in some of the different like really emotional and soulful areas of the album. So yeah, I mean, that's again, huge thanks to Billy for turning me on to that. Next here we have Testament. This is Demonic. So this was awesome that they've actually reissued. Actually, I don't know if it was ever issued in the first place. I'm sure maybe it was back in the 90s or something, but you know how hard Great Testament stuff was to find anyway, so these reissues are freaking awesome. So I was glad to get that. Now I want to get my hands on The Gathering. That's the other one I want to pick up too. So yeah, so Testament, which is awesome. Kind of funny too. Now that I look at that, looking inside the camera, because I got my "Y'all Need Jesus" T-shirt on, then hold up, the Testic Demonic, which is kind of funny. But that's actually a video I ought to do sometime too, because I've had a lot of people. I'm a very, very faithful person, and most people really wouldn't assume that based off of, only stuff like Testament and Slayer and all the other stuff that people tend to, make down a certain road. That might be a good video for me to do about, what that separation is for me between, I don't know, blah, blah. I think it might be a fun video to talk about sometime. So maybe I will come back and do that. Because I guess just a lot of this stuff like Slayer and Testament and things of that nature, I just take something completely different from it than I think a lot of people do. And I'm sure a lot of people also take the same way I do. So another video idea. This is one that was kind of a VCOT/contest prize from Diana. She sent me from way, way on that other part of the world, Between the Buried and Me, Call Me Kleptic. And I had never heard of this before. And so I've only listened to a few songs on it. I haven't really sat down and taken it in from front to back yet. I just haven't had really time to listen to a bunch of music over the last week or two. But yeah, she sent this over as I was like the second or third place winner in one of her contests. And yeah, the couple things I heard, it was certainly kind of like different. I mean, I just, again, it felt like it was one of those albums that I really need to sit and kind of take in to really, get a feel for what it's about. But like I said, she sent that from a long way away, and I really, really appreciate it. And I can't wait to really dive into it. And once I really do get a chance to listen to both records from front to back, I'll kind of come back and maybe give my thoughts on it as well. But thank you very much for that, Diana. I really appreciate it. Just kind of a core pickup, a piece I needed to replace, Cameo and Cameosis. Good old 1980s R&B/funk stuff. And again, I've spoken about Cameo so many times, I won't go into more detail about them. And little Carl Orff. This is the Philadelphia Orchestra. And again, I've spoke about this in a few videos before, that this is one of my top 3 pieces when it comes to classical music. I really, really love this stuff to death. And I've never really had any version of this on vinyl, because every time I've gotten a vinyl copy, which wasn't like a brand new one, it was always just a little, there were some pops, or there was some crackles, or it looked mint and it wasn't. And there are some very quiet moments in some places inside of this album, or this symphony, so you kind of have to have like a really clean one. So I was really happy to find this one on sale and picked it up. Nice 2 LP set with the Philadelphia Orchestra. So awesome stuff. And then another little pickup here, Vivo Coffee. So just a couple classical pieces here. And again, I do love my classical music. And this is nice. It's really kind of a contrast to the Orff there, where, like, the easiest way I found to describe the Orff, especially the parts that I like about it, is that has parts in it that's kind of like the type of classical music you'd expect to hear when you're watching a battle scene in a medieval movie. Just like, the grand, loud, just almost heavy metal type of effect. And then the Vivaldi there is more so of like the type of music you hear playing softly in the background of the same movie when they're just like having dinner in the hall type of thing. So I don't know, but again, I like it, and that's the feel and the thoughts that I get from that stuff when I'm watching it. An awesome reissue here. Was so pumped that I saw this come out. I didn't even know they had reissued. I just totally stumbled across it looking for a CD the other day. But Rob Zombie, Hellbilly Deluxe. I'm sure a lot of you know they only had the colored vinyl release they had out for quite some time, and those were fairly difficult to find and typically running you $50 to $70 to get one. And they just reissued it for the first time on black vinyl. And I think it was like $19, which is just awesome. So finally they got this on vinyl. And I do have a original pressing of Sinister Urge, but I also did just let people know, I think that was also reissued on black vinyl too. So I think that there's a few zombies that they just redid. So glad they finally let. Oh man, this is close to Grail status for me, just in terms of a vinyl record I wanted in my collection. So that's awesome. Cheryl Lynn, just some of my 80s R&B guilty pleasures. She had that song Encore on here, which I love so much. A little more Linda Ronstadt. This is Different Drum from 1974, I think. And again, just kind of some more various Linda. You guys know what a kick I've been on with her lately. And here's another one that I found, which was Linda Ronstadt. Salcido 1973, and just kind of a live performance. It'd be kind of cool. I would like to actually see if there's a video of this, because, you know, again, it's a live performance, and it sounds like it's just in almost like a small little bar type of thing, because even after they finish each song, like, you know, the hand clapping, it just seemed like a small handful of people, and, you know, of course, her fantastic performances as always. Yaz, kind of going back to some of the 80s roots here. This is You and Me Both. Just one of their albums I was not very familiar with. I mean, outside of whatchamacallit, Ed Eric's or whatever, I mean, I really didn't know much about any of their other catalogs. So when I stumbled across this, kind of gave it a listen, and it's definitely that same that Yaz 80s style, you know. So it was. I've only listened to side one so far, but it's, you know, pretty darn good. More Linda, just kind of another piece with help filling out the collection. I guess I should have just rolled that one. And, you know, and this one here is Get Closer. You know, not one of her biggest hit albums or whatever, but, you know, definitely one I still need for my Linda collection. The Mortal, Blind Lemon Jefferson. Really cool album that was VCLT'd to me, more or less. Yeah, I mean, I've never had any Blind Lemon. You know, I've always wanted to really kind of check him out and learn more about his stuff, but just I never had a chance to pick up anything. So this was nice, kind of a nice introduction. And again, just, you know, that down home, you know, that down home picking blues type of thing. So really good stuff. Grace Slick. This is Software, and of course most people know Grace Slick from the, you know, the Jefferson days and all that good stuff. But again, another one of her albums I had never seen, never heard. And it was only like $2, and I pulled it out and listened to it, and it's really kind of good stuff. You know, there's a number of tracks on here, like Call It Right or Wrong, and I think it was Me and a couple others, that like I really thought those are total and complete Cyndi Lauper songs. Like, if Cyndi Lauper was going to make She Was So Unusual 2, there are a number of songs off of this album that Cyndi would take and actually make that album. So it was definitely a little different than what I normally expect from a Grace Slick album, like, you know, Wrecking Ball and some of the other ones that she's done. So that was definitely a nice little blind buy for a couple of dollars. So I really like that one. And then the last two here, just a couple that Billy Hurst hooked me up with. I made Jamal here, which again, just kind of some, you know, some nice piano-y jazz there, which is really cool. And then last but not least, the one and only Mr. Frank Sinatra. So he hooked me up with that one too, Come Dance With Me. Definitely one of my favorite Frank albums as well. So yeah, just, I mean, look at a lot of various stuff there. Everything from classical to metal to R&B to, you know, easy listening and everything else in between. So there you go, VC. Again, as always, thanks for tuning in. Make sure you go check out Billy's channel. The link I put down below, not his channel, the link to the video and the link to purchasing his new vinyl record that he has coming out. All right, so hope all is well, guys, and we will talk to you soon.